We are back, and there were a lot of secrets that came to light. Because now you know what's done in the dark will always come to light. Whether somebody telling on you, secrets will be revealed. All right. Now, this episode, we are starting on episode 4. Okay, so make sure y'all hit that like, y'all subscribe. Y'all do all to do to support this channel. Watch this show. Black shows need support. Let me know in the comments where you're watching from. If you watch the show, do you just watch my recaps? Okay, hit that like. Let's go. Now we start this episode with a lot of secrets coming to light. Now we have Jax trying to navigate this case with Ozzie, rebuilding his image, and we also have Daddy was a Rolling Stone coming up in here with no boundaries, no respect. And Jax and Lewis are trying to continue to just live in this bliss. Their relationship has really overcome her kidnapping, her daddy coming back, a side baby. I don't know. Maybe they should just throw the whole marriage away. Because let me know if you could overcome a lot of things that their relationship has faced. Or would you have to be like, no, ma'am, my peace, protecting my peace. And Lewis, you ain't part of the peace. You part of the madness, the chaos, just like my daddy. Just like my daddy. And I have said over and over again that I feel like there is this parallel process between Lewis and her father, but we'll get into that a little bit later. So in the beginning, Bill is trying to once again woo his black wife back. Okay. We see this white man trying to get his woman back. And so he goes over there, and of course, Bill is awkward. He has good intentions. But his wife says she never knows what his real motive is. He's always got something in his back pocket and ulterior motives. And of course, Bill, aka Tommy Egan, really does. All right? He really does. He really wants, I got to prepare for this trial. Do you mind if I drop the kids off a little bit early during my weekend? Okay. I need Bill to learn to respect black women. Okay, that's what he needs to start at. Learning how to respect black women because he don't. Okay, he don't. And his tricks that he probably used to woo her, to have him 3 kids by her, probably was working in the past, but baby, it's not working no more. It is not working no more. So their marriage to me, unlike Lewis's and Jax, they married on the rocks. And that black woman is not putting up with the BS. Okay. Jax might have a heart at times for Lewis, but this other girl, I think it's her name Kendra. Kendra's like, no, ma'am, get off my porch, get in your car, and drive on over because you chose your career over this family. So go over there with the relationship that you chose, your career, not this family. Okay? And we move on and we get into Jax trying to figure out how to shift the narrative for Ozzie. This tape has been released, but how can we get the public to try and buy in? You know what? We're going to use your trauma. Yes. Okay. People love a story of someone going through some trauma, and that's why they did the things that they do. That's why they commit the crime. That's why they locked up and might not get out. That's why they was having them Diddy parties. Okay, because of the trauma. So yes, we're gonna have you tell your story on a talk show or something to let people know you're human. You've been through some things, and that is why you are the person you are, because of those things you have been through. Everybody loves to just use trauma to come back, to rebrand. We see it all the time in Hollywood. Let's rebrand. Oh, let's talk about your trauma. How your mom and your daddy wasn't there. How you was just touched a little bit in the wrong areas. And now get people to love you. And so that is what Jax is doing right now, is trying to flip the narrative and get the public doing jury proceedings, trying to find a jury that's going to be sympathetic to him telling his story. Okay, him and his trauma. Okay. And now to me, I know some of you guys want to see more of the girlfriends. Now we finally get to see some of them come back. They're all having dinner together. I want more of this. I want to see more of the sisterhood. I want to see more of what happened to old girl and her daughter after the case. I want to learn more about that. I want to see more Black friendship dynamics of trying to navigate friendship, adulting, being a mom, having a career. How does all that really play into Jax the person, her trying to navigate all these different tabs open in her mind? And during this dinner, we see the girls come together, and the therapist, I can't remember her name, the one with the shaved sides from season 1 and 2, actually says she's pregnant. She announces that she's pregnant. They taking shots, and she's like, well, somebody got to take this shot for me, girl, because I'm a child. So yeah, she's pregnant. And then as they're having conversations, two of the women decide we gonna go to the bathroom. Don't spill no more tea while we in the bathroom. Literally saying, don't spill no more tea. Hold it till we get back. Because you can tell that these women don't get a chance to get together enough. So hold it. We all wanna like get on the tea together. Does that happen? No. Okay. As soon as them two other girls go to the bathroom, the pregnant chick and the ex-con chick, it's just Sally and Jax. And Sally decides to pour some tea on the table and say, hey, me and my ex-husband, who we haven't really been getting along, he lay in the pipe. Okay. And the angry pipe is better than the sober pipe, better than the we're happy pipe. Okay. I'm loving the anger pipe. He laying it down. Okay. But don't tell nobody. Okay. Don't tell nobody. We still don't know where we are with our marriage, but the ex is good. Okay. And Jack says, Sally, how you know he not messing with nobody else? And Sally's like, Jax, here you go hating. You always been a hater. You've been a hater my whole life. And Jax said, oh, girl, you've been a hoe my whole life. So they read each other down. Okay. And I want to know from you guys watching this, if a friend tells you the same situation, hey, me and my husband, we might get a divorce. We're going through some things, but we landed down in the bedroom. Should Jax have just been happy and just be like, okay, girl, that's what you're doing. Make sure you just take care of your heart. Should she have asked the question of, do you know he's sleeping with anybody else? Because Jax, your slip is showing. Okay. Your show, to me, that's your trauma. Your own unhealed stuff from Lewis. Okay. Just because Lewis is out there dipping, dabbling, shooting up the club, don't mean Sally man doing the same thing. And I need people to recognize and learn that your love story is not everybody else's. Okay. Some people love the chaos. Some people's love story means it's going to be a little ratchet. It's going to be a little ghetto. Okay. Not everybody going to have a Hallmark story. And because some people are living the Hallmark story, they expect all their friends to also. But not everybody wants that. And you guys have to accept your friends, your girlfriends, where they are. Just because your relationship is solid right now, mine might not be, but I'm liking it. Okay, I'm okay with that. Be okay over there with your shit. Okay, let me live mine. I'm happy. We don't know where we are in our marriage. We still trying to get over some things, but the ex is popping. Okay, the bed rocking. Okay, and that's what I'm okay with the bed rocking, not the marriage right now. Okay, so I want to know your thoughts. Do you think that Jax, it was her trauma? Was she just trying to be a friend and ask that question? What do y'all think about that? Okay, and so we get the scene of Ozzie talking to Jax about, hey, we don't have to, you don't have to tell your story about you being assaulted, get the buy-in from the public, and I'm gonna need you to tell your family too. And he's like, okay, let me tell my family. So he tells his family that he was, what happened to him as a child. They are all crying. And it was an interesting scene because once again, I feel like Ozzie has layers. A Black man struggling. And we don't talk enough about Black men who've been essayed by somebody they know. Okay, we're going to get to the know part, who the person is. Spoiler alerts towards the end. But Watching this black man, this actor, play a role that a lot of men have been through: mental health, substance abuse, being the breadwinner, okay, having to show up as a masculine black man. And I feel like everyone in Ozzie's family has failed him. Yes, they have failed that man. He is a business. He's not really a son. He's a paycheck. And it's sad to watch him be hurt by everyone. I literally mean everyone around him: his sister, his mama, everyone for years has gone off a house, everything that they needed off his back. And I still don't know if anyone really sees him. And the one person I do feel like at times sees him is Jax. Jax has time at times cosplays as that mother that he never had. And it's interesting how she can be like that for her clients, but I don't see her being like that for her children. Okay. I think she struggles with emotional, that connectedness, that nurturance for her kids. She's used to being so hard in the courtroom that sometimes she takes that home. But I think it's also society saying that we have to raise black kids to be strong, resilient, and hard. There's no room for soft. There's no room to, let some shit slide because the world won't let you. So I think that there's some of that too. There's lots of layers to a lot of these characters. I'm enjoying the character development, but I think that at times Jax is Jax is a black mother trying to navigate so many different things: career, family, kids. In this episode, her son came back from school. He had 3 lines, y'all? What was it, 3-4 lines? The daughter came in with her attitude because the secret came out. Okay. It was true. She pulled out the jersey. The little baby jersey he was supposed to wear as an infant, but he never made it to that season of his life. And she's upset that her father lied to her. How could you lie to me? You had the opportunity to tell me the truth about me having a sibling, and you lied to me in my face. And I think that since the relationship is like 7 degrees of separation, her best friend is the mama who was pregnant, it was eventually going to come out. And so, though in that moment, the last episode, he should not have said or talked about it in that time frame, where they were, but he should have taken time later to say, hey, we got to talk about this. I don't want you to hear from the wrong person. Own up to it. Allow your children to see you that you're a human, that you make mistakes. Nobody's perfect. But it's the lies. And that's a core memory that she's always going to remember, that her father lied to her in her face. He had a secret baby. I think they could have developed a little bit more with the daughter, and I think they probably will as we move on this season. But we got to see her character a little bit. Not in the background, in the forefront, confronting her father, being upset, being a teenager. It was pretty good. Okay, we're going to move this thing on along, this train now. We also see Jax's father show up again. Mama Lou is babysitting the kids. I don't want to say babysitting. Spend some time with them. And who's at the door? Oh, Daddy. Daddy's at the door. Okay? Daddy has no boundaries. He has no respect. Oh, Jack's not here? Mama Lou, come on now. Kids. Okay? Come in. Mama Lou needs to get some boundaries too. Okay, this is a black family that nobody ain't got no boundaries. I've seen that over and over again in these episodes. This family needs some boundaries. Okay, they need to read Nedra book, Boundaries. Living drama free. So Papa shows up, granddaddy, and he walk in. And granddaddy want to spend time with his grandkids, but he also wants the tea. Okay, the kids are saying, thank God our parents are not here. We don't care when they come back because they didn't mess around, and we ain't effing with them right now. And granddad's like, oh, y'all got some tea? Let me give y'all want some money? Tell granddad what's really going on. Okay, and I'm gonna hit y'all with some dollars, some dollar bills, y'all. And so the kids proceed to lay it on down. Who paid the mortgage? Daddy been stepping out. I almost had a half brother. Lay it on thick. Okay, and this is the wrong information, the wrong person to give that information to, because he's only going to use it against them. Okay, only going to use it against them. And we eventually see the kids come along and they're having dinner, and they seem in a better mood. They're being nice to Jax, to Lewis, talk about how he spent time with the grandfather. My father was in my house. Yeah, girl. But he cool though. Okay. So can you pass the greens, pass the mashed potatoes? So something about that conversation with the grandfather was able to help them see that we shouldn't be so mad at our parents. I don't know what it was, but they turn a curve. Okay, and they're like, okay, we're not that mad no more. Girl, it ain't that bad. Let's sit down and break bread together. But Lewis is pissed off. Jax is kind of like, well, they kind of like us now, so could it have been that bad with my daddy? Jax, I don't know. You give some men in your life too much slack. You give them a little bit too much slack, and they're going to use and abuse it. And I think eventually your father going to use and abuse it. Okay? Now, Jax decides to confront his father-in-law. He pull up on him. He jump out the car. He see the father hanging out with some of his friends. And he like, hey, bro, let's talk. In that moment, Lewis got read down. He read him for filth. The father was just like, you living in my daughter's house. She paying the bills, paying the mortgage, the house that's in her name, while you out here slinging it out low and wide, having babies. I'm like, oh, I wasn't ready for that read right there. Damn, Lewis, you might have to tuck your tail in your pants to get back in that car, because he read your ass for filth. Okay, he read you down. And Lewis couldn't say shit. Be like, oh yeah, I did cheat. She do pay the mortgage. It is her house. Like, all right, bruh. Just know I know where you at. Yeah, and Grandpa says, step to me one more time. You know where to find me. You know what it is, cuz. You know what it is. And Lewis got in his little car. Oh, damn. Okay, oh, damn. Now let's get to some big things. Now, as the case is progressing, Jax's assistant decides, they've been hearing about these journals, that Ozzie writes all his feelings and thoughts in these journals. So he figures out a way to manipulate Ozzie's sister to get into his condo. He's looking for the journals, and he find them. Okay, he finds the journals and he starts reading them. And then it comes out in one of the journals that he has been used and abused. I believe her name is Melissa. Okay, the assistant. All right, let me see if I can find a picture of her. What's her name, Melissa or Jackie? It must have been the girl from P Valley. Okay, the girl from P Valley, it comes out, has been essaying him since he was 13 years old. And we get a scene of him, we hear him reading, Brandy Evans. Okay. Brandy Evans is her name. So we get a scene of, we hear the voiceover of Ozzie reading the journal. Okay. Let me see if I can actually find it. And while he's reading this scene, we see a woman. Okay, he says, I couldn't tell her no. I have not been able to tell her no since I was 13 years old. And let me say, I never thought that the person that had been abusing him was a woman. Because stereotypically, it's always what? A man. Okay, it's always a man. But this time it was a woman, somebody so close to him. Baby, I was shocked because I knew it was somebody close, but I just never in my mind thought it could be a woman. And so she's the one helping him get high, helping him do nothing really, because she's not really helping him. She's abusing him. And even in the scene, she's seducing him, trying to seduce him. And she's like, I think I just had a little bit too much to drink. I can't go home. And we see Brandy. I think, is her name Melissa or Jackie? Let me know. We see her. I guess I'm gonna just stay. And you see him in the conflict of like, I need to tell her no, but I'm high. I need to tell her no. And then she says, Ozzie, time for bed. And I'm like, damn. Shorty been doing that since he was 13. It just made me think about Ray J, YG, men who recently have talked about being abused by women. And at a young age, boys celebrate that. They think like, oh, you got an older woman. That's what you're supposed to be doing. Sowing your oats. You a man now. It's abuse. Okay? It's abuse. And it's the same person that has been around supposedly trying to support him through his career, navigate different things with his family. And I think nobody in the family sees it coming. And it makes me start to wonder, did she get rid of Wendy? Because somebody in that circle, that family circle, got rid of Wendy. Because Wendy was about to make them lose some money. She was getting too close. And it could have been jealousy. It could have been jealousy that, oh no, this my man. I've been here the whole time. Okay? This my man. And she's been seducing him since he was a boy. Monica. Why do I think that name is Monica? His own agent, y'all. His own agent has been abusing him. So, what do y'all think about that? Let me share this with y'all. It comes out that his own agent was the one abusing him. And this is a crazy role. Like, she's still that seductress, but she plays an abuser. Do we want to use a P word? And I think, once again, this show has so many layers of different things, like mental health, sexual abuse, like a woman being the abuser. You don't see that on TV, especially a Black woman. Okay. So this episode was really good. Now we saw a little bit of Lewis trying to navigate the whole thing with Sam at the job. I don't think that was too much I really want to talk about. But Monica has been the one. And I'm like, how far would Monica go to keep him close? Keep him close. Okay. We don't talk enough about this kind of abuse. I think men are starting to get more comfortable being open about it, but there's just so much like homophobia, taboo-ness about admitting and talking out loud about being a young Black boy being abused by a woman, being abused at all by a man. There's just so many layers. So I'm enjoying the developments. Okay, I'm enjoying it. All right. It was a good episode. It was good. Now where's Cordell at? Okay, I know Cordell's still up in there somewhere. Still got my eye on that doctor now. I keep coming to the house too. What's up with you? All right, what's up with you? But it was a very good episode. It started off kind of slow, but towards midway to the end, I did that. Y'all did that. Yes, y'all did that. Okay. But I'm Denise Brady. Let me know your thoughts on this episode because, of course, we can get active in the chat. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.